It's okay. The intro was. I was actually thinking about do we record the intro, but then
No,
no, we have a really good intro. Let's
we
leave it.
can't.
Riley comes in. Angel City on the board.
Corner kick presented by Cedar Sinai. Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's Leroux! It's a dream return!
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Angela Morales, with my Dad of the Year co-host, Mario Salazar. And today we are joined by none other than Gotham superfan, extraordinaire, soccer, I don't even know. I'm running out of adjectives. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. This is fantastic. We have the one, the only Christian Polanco from a very small podcast that kind of sometimes talks about soccer. You may have heard about it. The Cooligans. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, super fan. I love leading with that. It's Gotham, seeing their success and going from Sky Blue to Gotham, and then even being in San Diego when they won the NWSL championship. It was just all very surreal to be like on the field hugging Ali Krieger. Those are I feel like it's like super fan, but it feels more surreal than that. What's above super fan? Because I feel like a Make-A-Wish kid. That's where
it's like super fan plus like super best friend fan. These are it's your team, and that's how we are with Angel City. We're total homers, and this is my team. You cannot tell me otherwise. We're struggling right now, and it's still, I will find every good thing that this team has done.
We will talk. I have an affinity also for Angel City because Alexis and I did get to be there in that first year. Did get to hang out with the supporters. We were in the room when the first kit was revealed. We were in the room with Mia Hamm. So which again is bigger than, it's again another Make-A-Wish miracle. I cannot believe that the decisions I've made in my life led me to be in a room to see the kit for the first time with Mia Hamm. So it's been a very strange turn of events in soccer and women's soccer, and get to experience these things is surreal. So it's dope to say the least.
Definitely. Well, this is our match preview of our next game, which is a matchup between Angel City and Gotham on Saturday, June 8th, taking place in Harrison, New Jersey at Red Bull Arena, which I have gone by on a train because my fiance is from New Jersey, and we were going to see her family. It's like a whole big trip, but it's a big arena. I didn't realize it's on par with BMO. It's substantial in size, which makes sense why it's outside of the city. Because where would you put it?
It's Rebel Arena is I'm an NYCFC fan, so Rebel Arena is a place where I'm like, I don't feel great. It's sort of always needed, but it's like
that's fair.
But as far as I always give credit, like it's one of the better stadium experiences, especially kind of like even on the East Coast. There's better ones now. There's a lot of new stadiums that have been built, and now it's really on par. But for the New York area, and if you're going to go see soccer, there really aren't much better experiences. The problem, the Red Bull have the issue of people always complaining. NYCFC fans make the joke of like, you can't fill the stadium. When you're at Red Bull Arena and it is full, like I've been there, for the derby matches are pretty full. For international games, Gold Cup matches, it is. You go see Costa Rica against Honduras, it is. You're not saying anything about like the stadium experience. It is intense. So it is. Yeah, without a doubt, it's a great stadium, and Gotham has made it its home during their match days, and the supporters are great. And it's just it's little by little. It's tough to get people there. Gotham and Red Bull have this kind of same struggle, just getting people there. But the stadium experience itself is awesome.
That's awesome. Kickoff starts at 9:30 Pacific time, We don't
So
usually
it's a morning game for us.
Yeah, it's a morning game. It's coffee and soccer morning. We don't normally do East Coast times given that we are very much LA folks,
Yeah.
but given the situation, kickoff is at 12:30 Eastern time. And the game will be streaming on CBS and Paramount Plus. So I'm like over here tooting my horn about national broadcasts and oh my God, we're on regular TV all the time. It makes me so happy to see women's sports nationally broadcast, which feels like a big ask even still. But on radio, we'll be streaming on iHeartRadio on the Angel City Network with Isaac and Tracy, who we love dearly. And yeah, if you're here in LA on Saturday, the party is going to kick off at 9 o'clock at High Tops in Los Feliz on Vermont. So make sure you check out Angel City socials to go hang out really early in the morning with a whole bunch of fans.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right.
hear High Tops has a pretty good brunch selection.
Ooh,
It'll probably be a good watch
breakfast
party.
burger.
see, this also the thing about LA, and I go there often to do stand up, especially. But when you said like Los Feliz, and it's just I'm like I want to say Los Feliz,
Los
right?
Feliz.
Because it's correct.
And
Correct.
it's like redondo. No, it's redondo, right? No, it's all these little things.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
I have
Yep.
to shut it off. I have to like, okay, it's a LAism.
Every Spanish speaker has to shut it off. Even those who are from here, it's like you have to. I said it on a previous episode, like the company I work for outside of the podcast, like I'm constantly dealing with different neighborhoods and cities. And it's like all these places are in like the city of Los Angeles, but they're just little neighborhoods. And 90% of the time I'll be like Los Feliz, and I just have to like redirect my brain because most of the time people are like, what is that?
Yeah, because they're gonna do. Oh, what did you study abroad in Barcelona? Or they think you're being like a snob, and no, I'm
You're like,
saying it right.
No, I'm from Inglewood, and I learned how to speak Spanish. So,
Oh my goodness.
all right. So we are going to jump into our regular match preview stuff, roundabouts, all the good stuff, and then we will get to our interview with Christian in a few minutes.
All right. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we just finished talking to Christian. We're cutting to a different day. Our normal recording day is Monday. Christian from the Cooligans is
I'm already
on the East
crying
Coast.
again.
He's on the East Coast,
I'm so
and so
emotional.
in order to record with him, we had to figure something out. And so we pre-recorded with him last week on Friday about the Gotham match, and we were excited. So thank you so much to Christian, and you will actually be hearing more from him later on in this episode when we get down to the match preview. We'll cut back to the rest of what we recorded with him.
And let me just tell
yeah,
you, I was excited because we just got to interview basically a stand-up comic, somebody who's just inherently so funny. But this was like different level. I easily could have talked to him for the whole day. I could have just been like, tell me everything. Tell me about your life. We easily could have transitioned that into a women's soccer, women's basketball, baseball conversation. And I was like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it the whole time.
Yeah, it just being able to talk to him, like we got the email, we got the okay and all of that, and we were just both freaking out. So just talking to him was super easy. Super glad we had him on the pod. And can't wait for you guys to hear it, and also can't wait to have him back on.
Honestly.
Alexis, his pod partner, was not available. He got sent by CBS to the Champions League finals. I would have said, sorry, casual. I'm gonna go to the Champions League final. Like that. Yeah,
honestly,
valid response.
I don't even follow men's soccer. I would have been like, where are my plane tickets? Sign me up. Absolutely. No, it was generally just the best time. And I love talking sports with people who love talking sports. It's just the best. It's the absolute best.
And then not only is that huge, mega for us.
Guys.
We have been so stoked with everyone that we've been able to interview. Interviewing Christian, is up there with the fact that we got all the SGs together and we recorded
Seriously.
with all of them, with the fact that we recorded with Tracy and
Mhm.
we got to deep dive with her on just everything about her and broadcast, like our first interview being Elizabeth. This has been such a great journey.
It sounds like we're gonna quit.
We're not quitting. We're not quitting.
No, no, we're not
Um,
quitting at all.
but it's been so amazing that every single time we get the next thing, I'm gonna say it's the next thing always tops. It's topping our expectation.
Yeah.
It's never like the next thing has topped the last person we did, because we respect and are in awe of everyone we've talked to on this, and in awe of all the people responding to us week in and week out on giving us your 2 cents on the match and just being a part of the community. It's been super fun. And every time we get a new thing coming up, that's just adding another layer to this cake. And it's been
Yeah.
freaking an amazing ride. And all of this before our first year. This is our 1 year
Yeah.
anniversary podcast.
Yeah,
We
it's
both didn't
absolutely
realize this
wild.
till like this week.
Yeah, on, I wanna say Sunday? Yes, over the weekend, I texted Mario half screaming in all caps, "This is our birthday episode!" I don't know what, it just randomly hit me. I woke up, I think I took a nap at
I
Eva's and I was like, "Wait a second, guys."
I the
But
thing
no,
is that
this
I wrote this
insane.
down. It's in our
I
calendar.
know
I
it's in
wrote
the
this down, but
calendar.
then I completely forgot about it until you, like, said it. We're recording this episode, getting ready for this Gotham match preview, and completely forgot about the fact that this is our 1 year. So,
It's just so dope that it's our 1 year anniversary. The first time we published anything is actually on game day, which is wild to me. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but then I remember recording everything for the World Cup and I was like, it was that long. It was
yeah,
so
it's that
long.
long.
We also didn't know
And
what we were doing at the time. We're just like, let's just do it. But
you
yeah,
make it sound
excuse the
like we
sniffles.
do know
I'm
what we're
like
doing.
a little bit
Kind of.
sometimes.
But
Christian Polanco said I know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna ride that wave
yeah,
for
let's
as
write it.
long as
Let's
I
write it.
can.
If the
No, I just
Cooligans
thank
gave us
you everyone for this last year. I
it's
think
been
that's all I
freaking
can say because
amazing.
I will start weeping.
It's been awesome, everyone, and thank you so much. And with all that craziness and amazingness and tears of joy, let's get to the Chaos Award.
Yeah,
Let's
like
get
let's
back
actually
into the
talk
show.
about soccer. The whole point.
Okay. Also been
Angel
2
City's
weeks.
right. I was gonna say Angel City's last match was 2.5 weeks ago. We were talking before we started recording. It was like, what happened? I don't remember. I said that jokingly. I blacked out while recording with Christian. I don't remember anything. But
Yeah, no, I barely remember what I ate this morning. So I'm like, I didn't write it down. But the one thing I did write down, and I do remember, was the fact
yeah,
that in our match, both coaches got yellow cards. So that's our Chaos
wild.
Award for.
We have said, I think it's every other week, is that somebody, like the amount of yellow cards are like coaches getting carded, players getting, everybody, Oprah, you get a card, everybody gets a card. That's a season in general. But to have both Becky and Casey Stoney get cards in the last game was silly. I honestly think both of them were justified, but they were also justified in their actions because the game was bonkers for a hot second.
Yeah, there's so much going on in that game. I was just so much and so little going on in that game.
Yes.
Okay, let's do our quick roundabout for the matches scores that happened 2 weeks ago, just to get everybody back in line after this international break. In that last round of matches, Orlando beat Portland 2-1, extending their unbeaten streak. They are now the record
Insane.
holders. Don't ask me how many it is right now because I don't know, but they are the record holders. I think it's 7 now, right?
7 or 8. It's a lot. And they just signed, oh, what's her name? They just signed Grace Chanda from Zambia. So in the past future, the future with Christian, they're now known as like Brazilambia because That team is Brazilians and Zambians, and they're running through teams.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Oh man. Okay, so the Spirit beat Seattle 3-2. Houston got a win. They beat Courage 3-0. Bay FC lost to Gotham 0-2. Chicago lost to Racing 0-1. Doesn't really boast well since those are the two teams we're facing up next. And Utah lost to the Current 0-1. Which brings us to our match. In our match against our California rivals, now one of our California rivals, we got two, versus the SD, blah, 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 and rewind. And so that brings us up to our match. Our match was against the Wave, our California rivals, are one of three California teams. So we have two rivals now in California. And we had, I was going to try to make a joke, but it fell flat on there. Rewind. And the score came out to 0-0. Super exciting. It's fine. You can tie in soccer. It's a thing.
You know, this is one of those where it felt like a win. We didn't get the points as if it were a win, but it felt like it. It felt gritty.
Yeah. It felt gritty. We had some injuries. We were going up against a very tough lineup. So, yes, it did feel like a win. 2 weeks
Yeah.
later, doesn't feel like a win, but I remember that feeling when we were there. It felt like a win.
That night was oof, man. Nobody scored, but our defense was freaking everyone on that team stepped up. Sarah was out. MA's not 90 ready yet. Maggie Doherty Howard is out. Like, we have so many random injuries. Knock on wood, not SEIs, additional than what we already had. But like little knocks here and there that are starting to add up, or bigger injuries that people are rehabbing from. But this team stepped up, and in the post-game presser, everyone said, no, Sarah Gordon is the hardest working person out there. The least I can do is go out there and give everything I've got, because that's all she would want. And I was like, okay, fine, I guess so. But good news, as of today, Becky Tweed is saying that Sarah's day to day, which is so amazing. Yeah, let the universe shine down on Sarah Gordon. Also, this is unrelated to the match, but I just pulled up Instagram, and a couple hours ago, so this is Monday night at 9:30. So a couple hours ago, June Endo posted that it's been almost a month, so 3 weeks since her second surgery, which apparently has helped a lot. I really don't like the fact that so many of these ACL issues are now requiring multiple surgeries to rehab from. I'm hoping that means that we have a better scope of injury recovery going forward, but yuck.
I think
So she's still
from
working.
From the last thing I heard about how ACL injuries have been treated, and that's one of the reasons that Press has had multiple surgeries, is that they're trying to do more tactical surgeries, trying to do smaller increments of what they need to do, instead of trying to be
Yeah.
like, here, let me make this one big attachment and then you're going to be good. They're trying to do more, let's fix this little issue, let's let you
Yeah,
heal
more
a little bit,
incremental.
let's fix this other thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully that just means that although there are multiple procedures, the overall recovery and getting back to full strength is shorter, or even if it's not shorter, it's just more secure.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the good healing vibes to our girl June. The supporter groups had a big happy birthday sign for her after the last game. But yeah, back to the game though. Dee Dee was on one. I don't know what happened. Granted, she was just locked in. We went to the 100th minute. There was a million years of stoppage, it felt like, in the second half. And she made at the death, basically. And wow, the ball went off the crossbar, came back down. She stopped it there. Like, it was just boom, it felt like, for the last 45 seconds of the game, which probably felt like 45 minutes to most people in the arena.
Oh yeah.
But no, the team really locked in. We looked really free. Like we're starting to play free again.
Yeah.
And that makes me really happy. Giselle and Alyssa on the pitch at the same time. Oh my God. Give it to me in my veins. That's a jolt. Those two playing off of each other is going to be so much fun, guys. If you missed the last game, get ready for it. Get ready. This is going to be so fun. Alyssa's there. Giselle almost put it in. Alyssa almost had one. It's coming and the floodgates are going to open and we're just going to be scoring machines and work our way back up the table. I have faith.
Yeah.
My faith has been mildly restored. I also got sleep.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Yes, I will agree. Didi was on one, and she, like, those saves that she had were freaking amazing. And the thing is that, yes, I agree. It felt a lot more fluid when it was able to be, right?
Yeah.
And there was some points where we were getting shut down. And I know there was a little bit of discourse online about should Didi keep starting? Should Anderson come on? And okay, look, I'm an Anderson fan. I love Didi also. I was ready for Anderson to come on. Unfortunately, she got the short end of the stick by not performing in some really bad games, right? Her bad performance was not completely her fault. But unfortunately, that was her performance. And so we said it at the beginning of the season, it was her to lose. It was hers to lose. And she did. So now Didi's got it. Didi's solid, and it's Didi's to lose at this point. There's no in the keeper position. There's no, unless something bad happens during training, you pretty much aren't going to get called out of your position from training, right? If you're a forward, if you're a defense, and something is lacking in training, you're not quite in the right headspace, you'll get benched. But as a keeper,
that's
you
what
won't.
happened with Clarice. I don't know if you saw that article Cameron Nia posted. They interviewed Clarice and she said, I was told I wasn't bringing it in training, so I wasn't going to play. And I had to dig deep to figure that out, to change it. And now she's starting again. And I was like, justice for Clarice. It's that kind of thing, though, where if you're a field player, it's so different because you're a little more interchangeable than if you're a keeper. Not to say that they're not interchangeable, but it's a different vibe. It's a different selection process.
Yeah. When things are rocky and you're switching between goalies, that's not a good position to be in. But when you've got a keeper in and they are solid, you let it ride. You let them go until something happens or there's a dip, then they lose it and you let the other person go in. And that's just how it rolls. I hope Angelina gets some playtime, maybe during that fill-in tournament during the Olympics. But
Challenge Cup, not Challenge Cup.
Challenge Cup 2.0. But hopefully she gets some minutes. Hopefully she gets some time because match minutes are completely different than practice minutes. And hoping the best for both of them. But Didi, you are rocking it and you can stay there as long as you want. That is yours.
Absolutely. So after the game, Mario posted, how are we feeling after that draw? To see, we wanted to get a heat check if you guys are feeling how we were feeling, all that good stuff. Max came in saying that he was honestly relieved. Having an entire backup defense is terrifying, which absolutely, no matter how good your team is, like even if you have a second string full of starters, which we basically do, it's still jarring as a fan or as somebody who's watching the game because you're like, that's not normal. I don't know who that is. You're like, people are not in the right places. What's happening? People are playing all over the place. I'll take it. Kay sent the emoji with a thermometer, the clenched teeth emoji, a smiley emoji, a little spirit finger guy, a peeking out between your hands like you're watching a scary movie emoji, and then a party emoji, and then said Alyssa with a bunch of S's and A's at the end, and then 2 prayer hands, which apparently are high fives according to the emoji people.
Yes.
But no, they're not. No.
Yeah, they're high fives.
Societally, they are prayer hands. Vero said, at least we got a point on the board. We were rocking up in 227. Mario came up to hang out. One of the guys couldn't make it, but everybody else, we were just buzzing up there. Everybody was like, so much energy. It was a good time. Aaron said, I will take it. And Dustin said, I'll take a clean sheet against Shaw, Morgan, and Sanchez. Didi was awesome, and it's no easy ask to score on Gurma, Dahlkemper, and Sheridan. So all in all, I'm really happy. I thought we played a hell of a game. And yeah, there was a second where in the beginning of the game, Didi she went to like catch the ball, but hit it down and it like came back up and hit her in the jaw or something with her face. And so she was down for a minute. They got her some painkillers. Kaylin Sheridan, I mentioned it to the folks in our section, but for those who don't remember, they were both on, this is like tying back to the Angel City is Gotham 2.0 section. Where Didi played as Kaylin Sheridan's backup when they were both on Gotham. So they're very good friends. Like at Kaylin Sheridan's wedding, Didi was there. Like they're very close. So it's they went to check up on each other. And the same thing happened last season when Sheridan went down at some point. Didi hauled it across the pitch to be like, yo, you good. It's partly solidarity as keepers, but it's also because they've trained together. They're friends. They've been through some stuff. But
they might be a little bit more honest to each other than their own physio.
Honestly. And one thing that blew my mind that I didn't realize until she was subbed out, I forgot Maria Sanchez was there.
Yeah.
Completely.
It was
and then
not.
She subbed her out, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, it was not the threat that we thought it was going to be. Honestly, all of us in that section were just like, wait, what? She was playing? So I don't know what it was.
So much for our defense. So much.
Yeah, we'll see if she's going to be a threat no matter what. So we'll see if she's a bigger threat when we travel down to San Diego. But also I want to shout out Dustin here for not letting the Instagram little window keep you down on your on your character count. He sent us 3 different messages to get his whole thought out. So good on you, man.
I have thoughts, guys. And then Alma said that we need to finish our chances, which absolutely we do. They talked to Becky Tweed about it. I saw a clip today where she was saying like, yeah, we need to be able to see those better and to act on them earlier so that we can navigate the pitch better.
Yeah. Jeff came in with, after the first half, a win. After the second half, it was a loss. Untapped potential, still need to unlock it though ASAP. Yeah. Along with the whole, what Elma said of like, we need to finish the chances. The potential is there. We just need that little bit. And we've been saying once we get more people scoring goals, because that's one of the things we also have right now is that we don't have, and that's the same thing we had last year, is that we only have 2 or 3 people on the team that have scored goals so far. Other teams like Orlando, I think at this point has everyone on the bench has scored.
Players on that pitch that can score. Or was
KC, I believe everyone on the pitch has scored. It's more people you have, that means it's the more chances you're getting on goals. We just need to finesse that a little bit more. Zach came in with green sick face, woozy face, poop emoji, scared cat, and then heart hands. He said this was painful and coach got a yellow. And okay, so the rhino.
Yeah. To preface this next statement, Savannah McCaskill was a very divisive player. Some folks loved her, some folks hated her. I've learned some things recently, and I can see she's an interesting character for the team and for the fan base. And so maybe we don't use a rhino emoji to describe people. Use the croissant because she has a hair bun. Please. Thank you for the future. But she got booed a lot. I will say, for those who didn't watch the match, every time Homegirl touched the ball, she got booed. It was very fun.
Which is great.
Like
and Zach was part of that. Zach booed her 4 times.
4 times.
Yes, he came with so happy Wave didn't score in those last minutes, but also why can't we get it in? And then upset emoji. Yes, very much we'll count that as a win where we've been getting scored on at the very end, and that's always been like the curse. Ethan said, "Great that we got a draw, but we looked shaky." Like he put scary scream face. So yeah, I mean, I said we looked free in some points. We also those points weren't very long or very long lived or very often. So there was still Sam. Just I love Didi, and you know what? Like I said, Didi, you stay there as long as you need to, as long as you want to. Jamie came in with optimistic because we saw that two forward-minded defensive wingers can just do for us. Like being,
Yeah, we saw.
like I said, being able to push all of that up, being able to play a little bit more aggressive and get people up the pitch is what we've been looking for, and it's starting to happen.
Yeah, we're starting to see it. The more our defensive wingers push the ball offensively, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We just got to get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Dad.
Charis came out with I think that was a big victory to not lose, especially with Corden out. And
Yeah,
then our
agreed.
last comment was from Shihan, who said stressed but feeling good. And I think that's where we were at too. Reading all of these comments is bringing back that bit of stress. I was cool, calm, collected because it's been 2 weeks. But you know what? That's good. That's good. That means I'm getting geared up for this weekend. I'm just getting geared up.
I was going to say, that means we've processed the trauma and we're moving on and we're going to be okay. All right. So with that said, the standings as of right now, this is after week 10, first place through 8th place are the playoff spots. As of right now, we are not in the picture. We are currently in 11th with 11 points. We still are a game behind everybody else, but we need to start
Not
winning in
many
order to make
anymore
up those
though.
spots. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if we don't start winning and pulling those 3 points and making up that goal differential, okay, so what? But as of right now, the first through 8th places are the Pride in Kansas City. Both of them are undefeated. Washington Spirit, Portland Thorns, Gotham FC, Chicago Red Stars, North Carolina Courage, and then Racing Louisville. This all gets more complicated because, like I said earlier, Orlando just signed another major star out of Zambia. And I swear to God, I need to know what this team is doing. I am chomping at the bit. I need to know why we traded Paige and Mandy because I don't understand. And I know that means that something's in the works and they're probably dealing with visas and work visas and stupid things I don't want to care about, but I have to because they're legally important. But please, I want to wake up game day and be like, oh, hey, guess what? I want to wake up tomorrow morning. So Tuesday morning. And it's just, hey, guys, guess what?
Guess what? We just signed this player who's actually match day ready and ready to go right out the gate.
Honestly, she's already been living in California. She's been here for 2 months. We've just been waiting on paperwork. Please, something. Man. Anyway, we've got time. Not as much as we'd hope, but the regular season doesn't end until September this season because of the Olympics. We just got to keep grinding. We've got to keep putting support behind our girls and just let them do what they do. The freer we play, the better we are. And we just got to get it. We just got to get it unleashed. We're there, but we're not. We're so close, but we're just not there yet. And I hope that this weekend is us being there.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
11th place, 11 points, game in hand. That's still a plus. Not as much as a
Absolutely.
plus as we thought, but it's still a plus regardless. Especially with the fact that after this Gotham match, we're going to have a really tough period because oh no, it's after the next one. Sorry. So after Gotham, we face Houston, but then we go within 7 days, we play Houston, Racing, and Bay.
Yeah.
3 games
Yeah.
in 7 days with travel. 2 of those are away games. So our chances are getting slimmer and slimmer with these nice kind of easy, what should be easy home games. So
I'm really hoping though that I'm hoping we have enough time for recovery between games, but I'm hoping that the quick turnaround keeps that momentum. So it's just boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. And because you can build off that as well. Yes, you're tired. Yes, you need recovery time, but you can also use that momentum to build and change behaviors quickly because you have to. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some fun.
The
We're
best
about
part
to
of
get
the
into
episode is coming up.
our match preview with Christian from the Cooligans. So we'll see you on the other side of that interview. Enjoy, everyone.
Have fun.
So let's preview the match with Gotham at Red Bull Arena. But first, again, special guest, Christian. Let's talk a little bit about you and the Cooligans to get whoever's listening, if they don't know, and how do they not know? But if they don't know about the Cooligans yet or about Christian, let's get them to know a little bit. How are you? Just give everybody a little bit
Sure.
of
Yeah,
background.
the quick elevator pitch. I'm a stand-up comedian from New York City. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, from two Dominican parents, but born in New York City. And I've been doing comedy a long time. In 2015, my co-host and I, we started going to NYCFC games when they started in Major League Soccer. We were like, yo, we should do something like a funny soccer show. And we just started doing that. And then little by little, people started liking it. We started realizing there weren't many comedians working in soccer. Most of the time, I loved soccer for a long time. People always usually made fun of me for it. It was always like, soccer is gay. That was always like the same thing. And I always tell people like, yes, it's great. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
And thanks.
So thanks for the compliment. I don't know. We just started talking about the game. And then like literally just the other day, we were hosting an event with Tim Weah and doing like a panel, and we've gotten to, it's changed our lives. I show so much appreciation and gratitude for this game because the amount of community that it brings is unbelievable and life-changing. I'm sure you go to games, Angel City supporters, and I'm going to be friends with these people for the rest of my life. And that's why I'm just like grateful to just be in this space. But yeah, we have a podcast. It's on every Monday and Thursday. It's available everywhere. And it is definitely not super serious. We joke around a lot. We have a good time, but we're serious about the contribution we want to make, to the game and to the women's game. And it's been awesome.
That kind of leads me into the next point, which was Angela and I were having a small conversation yesterday about the idea of the different levels of celebrity, right? Like and
I'm definitely at the lowest.
Totally
okay. Yeah.
No, not even. But like even the idea of on a personal level, it's like you hear someone like I listen to the Cooligans. I'm not in New York. I'm never gonna run into you like on the street and just be like, hey, Christian, what's up? So there's that sense of distance and celebrity, and also just the stuff that you guys have done from the podcast or from what you guys have been building has been so crazy that, like we told you when you agreed to come on, we were like, holy crap. He said, yeah, let's go. So how do you like, in your own head, how do you see all of that when you see the kind of support and how it grew from like you guys started wherever you started, like in someone's kitchen, to the point of you're hosting things with Tim Weah, you're the MC at the Senators, the U.S. Senators match, like you
which
have
is also very bittersweet.
Adidas,
it's a very strange
Adidas models, right?
Yeah, dude, it is. It's something in maybe the last 2-3 years I've thought about it a little bit more. Just like in my mind for a long time, I'm like, nobody knows who I am. I got to work my ass off. I just got to figure this out. I got married 2 years ago. I had a baby a year ago, and it's okay. Now all the responsibilities and pressures of life start to come through. And I think in the last couple of years, and thank you for the kind words, but I think I'm starting to see, all the work that I've put in is having an impact on people. There's a lot of people, right. And even speaking to you guys, speaking to other Latinos, I'm also Dominican, right? That is not, we're not known for soccer. That's not, even other Latinos are like, why are you here? Why are you talking about the game? So there's a lot of, exactly, right? My parents would have been proud of that. So that's the thing of, we've had to convince people a lot of like, we have something to offer to the game. Right. And a couple of years ago, we sometimes people ask us to talk to kids. We did this thing for this youth soccer club that has they have an after school program thing, and they were doing they have a journalism program for these kids that also play soccer. And they were asking us, oh, I want to get into soccer media and like work in sports. And we were giving them our perspective and things that we did and things that we thought would be helpful. And then so that kid was like the kids are all like 12, 13 years old. And this is like during the pandemic and like we're on a Zoom call. And then 5 years later, 4 years, this happened like about like last year, the kid that was on that Zoom call saw me at an NYCFC game. And he was like, hey, you were on that call. That was like really helpful. I'm going to NYU now and doing in the journalism program. And I'm like, you're going to make me cry, kid. This is like crazy that I had any impact in the direction of your life. And I think people see Alexis and I, and they see he's on CBS every morning and we're doing all these unbelievable things that I can't believe it either. But I think for a lot of people, a lot of podcasters in soccer, they're starting to they see us and they're like, yo, there's a pathway. There's something that we can actually make it. Even if I know exactly what it's like. You do this stuff for the love of it. You don't make next to no money. You're spending your own money to do it all. The thing is, we, especially because Alexis and I had the hustle mindset of comedians, we were already like, all right, we're trying to do this show. Who do we need to meet? We were very intentional about what we wanted our careers to look like. And that was what was helpful and almost allowed us to distinguish ourselves in soccer, because it's like clearly there's not many stand-up comedians that are doing this, so that helps. But if it could inspire people to push themselves to be like, all right, I'm passionate about this, and how do I want to do something unique and distinguishable that other people are not doing, or something that bringing my expertise. If you listen to our show, when we first started our podcast, I was doing freelance IT work. Alexis was doing pizza tours. So that comes up all the time. Computer stuff, IT stuff. I set up everything in the studio. And then when we're speaking to guests, Alexis is talking to them about different pizza from all over the world. And
that's awesome.
People are usually like, dang, too much about pizza, bro. Why do you know?
Yes, Alexis's pizza knowledge is insane.
It's uncomfortable.
Like in a past life. Like
So it's something that we brought all those aspects of our lives to soccer. And it doesn't have to be, I'm not the best soccer player, but we all have something to offer to the game. And that's the thing I hope I didn't realize that could be an inspiration to people who wanted to get in this like industry.
It's just so cool.
I think it's so cool. And honestly, Alexis's pizza knowledge is on a stupid level, to the point where it was a couple episodes ago, but you guys were critiquing a tifo that had a pizza on it, and he straight up went pizza connoisseur.
Yeah,
the bake would have been this way or that. Like,
dude,
it was okay.
If Alexis knew how to, he had the attention span to write stuff down. He could write a dissertation about that pizza tifo at the Gotham game. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's completely been amazing seeing the journey you guys been on, and just aspiring to this is possible from a podcast, from like a kind of startup scratch kind of mentality. And then the cool things that you guys have been able to do, and the people you've been able to meet, like you were saying, being in the room with Mia Hamm. Tell us about your friendship with Kriegs, though. Like, how has that?
Please.
I know Angela really wants to know.
Yeah, I have so many questions and so little time. I literally, like, I was looking at what I was going to throw on because, like, I'm running to work right after this. And I'm like, okay, wear your own podcast merch, because no joke, I was about to pull out my Ali Krieger fan club shirt and be like, don't be like that. Don't be weird.
I should have, if I had more time, I would have worn it too. My favorite thing about it is that friendship is like just wildly organic, where we were this, and this is another sort of example of just simply betting on ourselves and believing in ourselves. We went to the United Soccer Coaches Convention in 2018. So this is January 2018. This is in Chicago. And they have a podcast row, which I would recommend. If this is a thing that you can get involved in, go for it. And you get a booth, and you're like at this convention center, and people are walking by, and it's like you would see Jermaine Jones walking by, Ali Krieger, and Eric Winalda, and all these people just walking around. And you say, hey, we have a podcast here. Do you want to stop by for a couple of minutes? And that's exactly what happened with Ali. We saw her walking by. Alexis, yo, that's Ali Krieger. and we said hello, and then she was with 2 other people, like her handlers, and they were like, oh no, she's really busy, she can't come to we were there for 2 days. She was like, oh, she can't come do the podcast right now, but maybe tomorrow she could stop by for 5 minutes. So her handlers, the second day we see her again, we're like, all right, make sure you come by. And she was like, yeah, she has about 5-10 minutes. Allie was there for 30. Hey, we got to go. Allie was laughing, making jokes. We're like having a good time. I always say, I think she's generally the funniest soccer player I've ever met, where comedians tend to, when you hang out with other comedians, we always like try to top each other's jokes. Like there's always a lot of banter back and forth. And she has she's doing, like, if you ever been to an improv show, that's how it's like. It's like a scene partner. She's really funny.
That's awesome.
She can like really add on to whatever it is like that you're joking about. And so it's such a genuine thing. And then, she would always just stayed in touch. And it always really, where it was like, the way you guys were reacting, we're like, oh my God, holy crap, Christian's here. I was like, she's just responding to our messages, and I couldn't believe it. And obviously, the roller coaster that has been her life has been crazy. And that's been a thing where it's interesting as a person in media, where we were pretty intentional. We're like, yo, it's so messy that we could have fun with it. But we actually do have a friendship, and it's not worth joking around about, because it's like even if we try to be as tasteful as possible, we're gonna hurt somebody's feelings, and that's just no intention. And look, and I'll be completely transparent. There was an event that we had gone to right before everything really came out to light, but Allie was there, so was Ashlyn, and it's like it's as uncomfortable as you can imagine. It's just the sort of messiness of life, and it was like a real thing. Oh, this is real. And even though things look great on Instagram, it's like, it's not always.
These are real people.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a thing, because when I remember when we interviewed her the first time, we took a photo and we're like, hey, interview with Ali Krieger coming out soon. And I wasn't aware of the stan culture that surrounded her, because
that WOSO has, especially Ali Krieger.
That was the first time where we were like, I was getting DMs from Krieger stan accounts, 7-8 of them, like, when's the interview coming out? What is taking so long? I'm like, yo, I don't have an editor. I'm editing it. I don't know why. Why are you?
My editor is me. We are the same.
I have to go to work during the day. There's a lot going on, and it was so shocking that there. I think that was my first peek behind the curtain of, not only are there like women soccer fans, but there's a toxic, obsessive. It gets pretty crazy. So it was like an interesting thing navigating through that. But then when all the drama came out, it made everybody have big sides, and it becomes a soap opera a little bit. So
it's been a wild time on WOSO internet.
Yeah.
Jeez. And that's one of those, we've made that decision as well. These are people, they will hear this. The women's soccer community is still so close-knit, so small. There's no point in the degradation of those relationships. And then if you want to succeed, why are you bringing everybody else down? It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I could soapbox on it for hours, but it's want to promote women's sports with my life. So let's do it. And let's find the ways to have those hard conversations, and do it lightheartedly, but not at the degradation of someone's humanity.
It's tempting to get involved in that, because people will click on it, people will see it, people will be interested in it. So it's a conscious choice, because you could, and I don't know, feels like inside baseball, but for us, especially given that we're comics, the expectation is that we're gonna be like messy and be like, and just, we don't care. And there is a line of, we know who to make fun of, we choose who to make fun of, and we know when to pull back, because you have the option of, you can placate to an audience. You can say they eat this stuff up, right? People love TMZ. Even though they know they don't really speak highly of people, they like it. But if you want to, same thing, like if you go to a game or you're interviewing a player and they know you said some like awful stuff, that feeling doesn't feel super genuine, because it's like, they know, oh, you're just trying to use something I'm going to say to spin it or make me look bad or whatever. And it's a choice in life. You can be chaotic and get views or whatever, and maybe not have great relationships with people, or you can foster and try to do something unique and special that maybe it won't get millions of views, but you still feel good about yourself at the end of the day, and that's where I lean.
Absolutely. Same here. Same here.
That's awesome.
So, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was it. I was just saying that was awesome.
Oh. So far this season, I'm going to shift us into talking about the matchup. But have you caught any Angel City matches? Have you, like, how much of the NWSL season have you been able to invest in?
I usually try to watch about 1 or 2 games a week. I've caught a couple Angel City matches. And in general, I just have this... It's
a safe space. You can be honest.
It's just concern. It's just one of those things of like,
yes,
took our coach. It didn't work. He got rid of our. It's just what?
Yeah, the relationship between Angel City and Gotham is like, if it's a Venn diagram, it's nearly a circle at this point.
So
coaching, half our players.
Look. I feel like this season is a little bit better, and or it's like less concerning. But there's been a couple wins, but I just feel like, given the amount of support as far as the matches there and the amount of people who go, it's just I feel this way about, especially being like a Gotham fan and seeing how the stadium is just like sparse and it's not great, but the team does pretty well on the pitch. And then, but if we had your support and the way we played, I would be like just so dope. So it's one of the things where I feel bad for the fans, and there's a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit, and I think we're all figuring this out. I think in women's sports of like, how much do we voice our frustration with the performances on the field? And we're seeing it in the WNBA now, like where Caitlin Clark, and it's almost, all right, we like that they're being held accountable, but relax a little bit. It seems like a little
test, like
it seems wildly intense. We don't need to bring everything from men's sports into this right now.
Exactly. Like we have the ability to make a culture all its own in a new way.
So that's the one thing I think. Maybe because I'm not seeing it enough. But I don't think Angel City is criticized enough publicly about the low standard. I'm not saying that the players don't hold themselves accountable, because I've seen stuff.
Right.
I've seen some from individual players, especially like Sydney Leroux. They want to win. I know that, but I think and I don't know if necessarily the criticism will help, and I think this is a general thing in NWSL where like nobody's super. There's not really voices that are loud about this isn't good enough.
Right.
This should be better, stuff like that. And not to say also that people are accepting of the losses, but I don't know. That's just the landscape.
There's still, and as a competitor, this is the part that's always been hard for me. It's this idea of, at least we're all playing, and at least like we have this league and we're so grateful. And that carries over too in the WNBA. Yes, it's a family environment, but I am watching professional athletes compete. And I want to see that. And I want to see high level competition every weekend, every time I watch. So it's definitely a line we toe of being like, guys, the call is coming from inside the house. Like, hello, is everyone okay?
Even got them at the beginning of the year. We're like, they weren't losing games, and weren't giving up a lot of goals, but not scoring. And there was a little bit of, I had mentioned on the show, this is supposed to be a super team. There's Roosevelt, Tina Davidson.
They traded everybody away. Yeah. Like that championship team is not the same team.
Exactly.
And now it's national team 2.0. So I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the standard should be high, especially with the players that they brought in. I know Tina Davidson and Roosevelt were coming off of injury. Roosevelt just probably had one of her best games recently.
Yeah.
And that's in the last game that she played. And I was like, this is it. This is what I want to see regularly. Crystal Dunn hasn't really been starting in games. I'm like, she should probably be starting. I'm like trying to figure out what is the sort of long-term plan, or even just like the within this season. But yeah, I think there should be a little bit more of that, because it isn't that. I also have like theories about. I watch the like WSL sometimes, and I'm like, you watch Chelsea, and you're like, and it feels like, oh man, they have all these players and they're scoring all these goals, 4 or 5 goals a game, and then I'm like, are they better? Is it a more attractive style of soccer in that league? And I'm like, no, NWSL is just that competitive and that difficult. Nobody's scoring goals. It's just it's one
defense is insane.
It's unbelievable. So like some of the best defenders are in the league, and it's just 2-1, 1-0. Like it's just the goals are not coming a lot. So
Yeah.
the margins for error are very small. And that's also something I have to just be mindful of. Yeah, Gotham may not be scoring a lot of goals, but it's really hard to score goals in this league unless you're Barbara Banda in Orlando. You know what I mean?
You breathe and the ball goes in. And I feel too, like with Gotham, you guys got hit with the injury bug very early in the season. 4 SEIs before the first month was over. And then I feel like the news of a player retiring takes the wind out of everyone's sails. And it's generation, like the 2015 World Cup team, the 2019 World Cup team. Those women are starting to step away from the game and retire more and more. And I feel like there's this big shift in soccer. And so like with the news of Kelly O'Hara stepping away at the end of the season, and probably because this injury is not going away, I feel like that kind of devastates a team in a different way. Because like when we played Gotham at BMO last year and Kriegs went down with a calf injury, we saw her play 15 minutes and we were like, for real, we don't even get to see her for the whole 90.
Yeah.
The Ellie Krieger gets hurt. Like, why does this happen? But I just, man, that team is so stacked. And now as people are coming back from the little knocks that they had, you are becoming a very dangerous team to match up against.
Yeah, I think probably the most devastating injury was obviously losing Mitch Purse for the year. But I think it's interesting to me, Ryan has stepped in and been that player on the wing and scoring goals or great passes for possible assists and stuff like that. But there seems to be, it's not even a vacuum of, I guess it's a vacuum, not leadership per se, because obviously there's so many veterans there, but just not having Ali Krieger and not having that same exact day-to-day guidance or motivation. And it's just like figuring out a little bit of a new identity. There's new players there, and it's just, there's a little bit of an adjustment period. I'm not too worried. I guess they have a couple wins in a row. But it
must be nice.
I was a little concerned at the beginning of the season, but they're also they're not lighting it up either. They're winning and they're defending well, and I think that's been the strength. I've appreciated that, the fact that there's been a lot of different lineups and everybody has, the identity of the team hasn't really changed that much regardless of who's there. But it is a little bit, you're a little taken aback when you're like, Tiara Davidson is here, Crystal Dunn, Emily Sonnet, Rose Lavelle, and they're not starting. And that's been a couple games where they are healthy, or maybe they were coming from international break or something, but they are healthy and they're not starting games. So I think it's a conscious decision of just getting everybody healthy and just figuring everything out. But it's nice to see that even if they're not playing, the team still plays pretty well.
Right. I feel like there's a big push right now across the league to preserve your national players, like whatever team they're for. It hasn't been playing too much this season. And I'm like, I can almost put money on the fact that they're just like, just chill, just stay in shape, just train for the Olympics. Well, we just want to make sure you're safe until then. Yeah. Because if she goes down, New Zealand is just devastated. Like the leadership alone.
Talking about all of that, and then talking about how, I will say that even though they're not blockbuster right now, they're at least consistent. And that's something we're a little bit lacking on our end, has been that kind of consistency. We're slowly getting back there, right? Because we also got spoiled by the second half of last year, right? We went 11 matches undefeated. And so basically it was like night and day. Like first half of the season was trash. The second half of the season was lights out. And so now we went from, that was the way we ended the season, on a high. And then we start this season with rough start, and we're just like, why, what is it? And so I think Gotham has, even though you guys had the rough start, and everybody was calling it like the US women's national team 2.0, like the training, Gotham FC is the training camp for US women's national team. It's at least been a little bit more consistent, because you guys are currently in 5th place and with a 5-3-2 record. And so that's, if we had a 5-3-2 record, we'd be happy.
I'd be so happy. Happy.
But talking about how we're trying to preserve those players for the Olympics and for kind of national pride, how do you think that's going to affect the team? Because I was looking it up, and we're in the middle of an international break right now. This episode's going to come out because we're going to get back into the season. But you guys have 5 players out on national duty right now. You have Jenna, Tierna, Emily, Rose, and Crystal are all playing, or all in the the June
The
camp
June.
right now
Yeah.
with the national team, because they're going to be playing the friendly matches and like training together and all of that stuff. But then they have to come back and play a
Mhm.
game. So it's like, how do you think that might affect the outcome going
Yeah,
forward?
I think like what I was saying before, maybe that's been the reason why a lot of these players haven't started, just to keep them
Yeah.
prepared for the international breaks and for the Olympics. I think about what our midfield looks like, right? And not having, obviously, Roosevelt or Emily Sonnet, I assume, is also going to be away.
Yeah, everywhere. I feel like Sonnet is a little defensive, a little offensive,
Yeah.
just very much
Just
do
hold.
anything.
Yeah, you should play center back a little bit as well for
Yeah.
Gotham. I think but Neely Martin and Delaney Sheehan in the midfield have been great. They're really confident on the ball, and Delaney Sheehan, if she needs to go forward, she's been awesome too. So I'm not super worried. Again, I think the midfield might be a little light. McCall Zerbroni, I don't know if she's coming back this year.
Yeah, I think it was an ACL for her
Yeah,
too.
she hurt it last year. I would imagine she should be back this year, but I know she's listed as a season-ending injury. Which, so I saw her right before the final actually right before the playoffs last year, and she was just saying she was just like rehabbing, but this was at Ali Krieger's retirement party because they didn't know when the season was gonna end. So they did it right after the final game of the season. And she seemed like in good spirits. My hope is that she can come back. But again, she's another just great holding midfielder and just, again, never loses the ball. I also thought not bringing back Ali Long it might have been salary cap issues and stuff like that. But I thought...
I'm with you on that. Like, why was she at a training camp? Like, she was training to hopefully make a team. And I'm like, do you realize who you have? This is Ali Long. What is happening
Long,
here?
just literally 100% pass rate every single time. Just like it almost seems like she has like a boring game or style, but it's just like, no, you're not taking the ball from her, and she's always completing passes, and that's not easy to come by in this league.
I'm such a huge cheerleader for every defender in basketball too. I grew up playing basketball, so I was a post player. I set screens. That Stewie screen on Caitlin Clark, that was my job. That was like, so it's like exactly. So defense in general, I'm just like, why don't we give these accolades to defenders the way we do for prolific score? Those goals only happen because of the most minute mistake.
Yeah.
There was, I think it was our first game against Kansas City, had a half a step on Sarah Gordon. And the next time we played them, like 2 weeks later, because the schedule this year is crazy, you saw it in Sarah Gordon's face of just like, absolutely never.
Yeah.
And she could not get around her. And it was fantastic to watch. But it's that, like you were saying earlier, we don't get prolific scoring games because we have folks like Sarah Gordon and like Ali Long, like these players that are just household names for so many people, and it's so cool. But I will also say, due to the roster announcement and everything, like justice for Lynn Williams. I'm a big Lynn fan.
Sure, yeah, same here.
The fastest girl on the pitch. Like, just watching Lynn play is so cool.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else on Gotham you want to call out? Because I think you've named 2/3 of the roster so far. So like, if you don't want to talk about anybody,
I think the another big decision was to bring in Berger, the goalkeeper.
Oh yeah,
coming from Chelsea. That was a big... The goalkeeping wasn't a huge... At least to me, it didn't look like it was a huge concern. But obviously, Mandy... I forgot what the goalkeeper we had last year. Mandy Hott. She who came on for Abby Smith. She got injured, so there was like a lot of concern there. But they obviously couldn't keep everybody. But I thought the decision to bring Berger on was a bold one. And it's also one of those things of like, how is Gotham like managing the salary? How are they able to get? Were they like?
Yeah. What? How do you have so much money, and can you please share? That's what we joke with Angel City all the time. We're like, we have a big budget.
Yeah.
Can you hook us up?
They're making really good moves. So shout out to Yael Averbush.
Absolutely,
she's an awesome. I think the other player that I just also enjoy watching a lot is Maitane Lopez. She's the center back. She's been starting here and there, but when she was paired with Ali last season, that was just two lockdown defenders that were spectacular.
Yeah.
And I can also speak about Jenna Neiswanger, who's been awesome too, and a really great where you didn't necessarily know what the expectation is, especially coming from a left back. You're like, oh, they're going to defend and whatever, but she has been a huge contributor going forward and also a great defender. So I honestly, what I can speak to more is I think Gotham is just a great defending team. I also do not expect Angel City to win this game because I don't know where the goals are going to come from.
I don't even know because everything feels like a toss-up right now. It's like we're either going to show up. Like this last game against San Diego, we probably had our best showing of the season defensively. And our backline right now is a little sketch since we traded Paige and then Sarah got hurt. So it's like we're pulling at everybody on the team right now. One of the things I have written down,
the Paige thing is another one, which I met Paige and we did her show.
She's just great. She's so great.
I met her in San Diego. She was at there was like a Just Women Sports party thing that they did, and I met her there, and she gave me a hug, but it was like a one-arm hug where I'm like, yo, you're strong. You need to chill.
She's ripped. Yeah. Absolutely.
She was like, hey, Cooligans. Like, want to give me a noogie or whatever. She was
like, hold on.
Mad intense. But she, you can tell immediately, especially when she scored against you guys in that game.
Yep.
Where it was just like anger, frustration, relief. And I'm sure you guys are still asking the question of like, why did we let her go?
Everyone, and there's rumors that there's someone coming. We're like, okay, but hurry up, please. We need this.
Put the Band-Aid on because it's still the wound is still open.
We're still bleeding. Yeah, but I will say we lucked out with one of our draft picks, like Maddie Curry, who I don't know if you've gotten to see her play very much at all, but she has been fantastic. She is 5th in minutes for this like draft class, which is awesome. She worked her way into a starting position. She had stitches put in at halftime at a game, came out with the Von de Donk swim cap situation, just has been prolific. And between her and Giselle Thompson on the back line, it's been a really big shift of Angel City plays from the back every single game, and it frustrates every single person in the stadium. But at least this last game, if we're going to do that, we're at least going to like push it this time. We had a little bit of spark, we had a little bit of fire, and I'm really hoping we at least see it this game and it becomes more of a practice. Emma Vignola should be, I don't know if she'll be playing a full 90 this game, but she'll most likely be back hopefully in the starting lineup. She's coming back from like a bone bruise around her knee. We're coming back. At this point I feel like I'm at the mentality of just being like, show up, do this much better, 2 inches better than you did last game. And we'll see where this takes us, and that momentum will keep building. But we've talked a lot too about Alyssa Thompson having what we think are the yips of just being nervous, because last season was weird for her. She got the call-ups, she went to the World Cup, she didn't
play.
Like the whole second half of the season was a little weird. But I think we're starting to see her break out of that and get back to what she loves, get back to what she does. And I'm really hoping that we start seeing more and more of that. She's great on the ball. She's great. She's fantastic. She and Niswanger are going to be a fantastic matchup for the remainder of their careers.
Totally. Yeah. I think the expectations, or maybe it's just that we're now used to seeing very young players in women's sports, right? Like or especially obviously gymnasts and stuff like that. We know, but like in team sports, it's just something new to us. We saw it with Olivia Moultrie in Portland, and everything, like the attention, because obviously she's so young. And then we were joking about how people about Cenas, right, from San Diego, where when she got signed. And how old is she? 16, I think, or 15, something like that. She was
young. Yeah, I think she was like 2 weeks either older or younger than Olivia Moultrie. Like they're right around the same age.
The comments are just like, she's a young girl. She shouldn't be playing. She should like all this stuff. We're just like, all right, she's literally one of the greatest soccer players in the world. They tell me she's getting signed. Like, why would she not take that opportunity? And her family wants that.
And I'm like over here being like, as someone who was once a 16-year-old girl, if I had been able to go pro in any of the sports I played, sign me up. I can finish high school online. I can go to college I don't care.
I'll learn everything on YouTube.
The internet is free.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I feel about Alyssa Thompson. Like obviously the pressure there, and then the goal that she scored last year was just banger. And then everybody's like, all right,
Yeah.
more of this. This girl's going to be the next Freddie Adu or whatever. The people put that with sort of expectation and pressure. And it's coming back to reality. And it's hard. Every player has to find their identity in this league where it's just, if she was playing in England and playing against Bristol City, these teams that are just like, you can see the level from Chelsea to the team at the bottom is unbelievably stark. And that's why we have this inflated view of, oh, that league looks awesome. And yeah, they get a lot of fans, but there's a lot of crap players in on those bottom.
It is a big league. And when the league gets bigger, you see the discrepancy and the disparity
it's like,
a little bit more.
Exactly. And the teams that have a lot of money can bring in all these players look better.
Absolutely.
So this is time to has to adjust to just the level of this league. And it's going to take some time, but I don't have any doubts. You see the way she plays. The defenders are like afraid of this little girl, right? Like you see, they're back up. Nobody's really trying to tackle her really intensely because they know how quick she is and great on the ball, and they know that she can take a quick shot. But you see there's like that confidence in finishing that probably just will not come until she's just a little bit older and a little bit more mature.
And that's what we've been talking about. I know she's starting to get the assists in. She's starting to get the ball a little bit more on target. Everything is slowly. We're just tuning dials at this point. We're not making big changes for her. And I'm so excited because the second that ball goes in the net, all bets are off for her. And it's okay. We're back. Cool.
Yeah. I think the other, I really love Rocky Rodriguez when she was
I love Rocky
in Portland. And I haven't seen too many Angel City games, but I guess maybe you can speak to how she has been this season, because that was a player when she went to Angel City, I was like, oh, this is bring this veteran sort of leadership. And I don't know if she's been if the chemistry has been great or just been finding goals, but that's one player that
she's getting there. The hard part was that she started the season with a concussion.
Okay.
So it's there. She missed a few games, and then people forget it takes so long to come back officially from a concussion. Yeah. Your brain takes time to heal, and I have a background in playing a million sports, master's in sports psychology, all of that. So I'm just like, guys, brains are important. We got to keep them healthy.
Sure.
And if she needs to sit a game, she needs to sit a game. And you can see the glimpses of old Rocky coming back of we're starting to get the ball forward more. We're being more aggressive in the attack. And it's exciting to see because I have a feeling in the next month or two over the international breaks that are coming, the Olympic break. After that, I think Angel City is going to be a different team.
Awesome.
At least I'm hoping.
Definitely not against Gotham. They can be the same team.
As it stands right now, our record between the two teams, we've won once, we've lost twice, and there's been 2 draws. Who knows? It's a very even matchup.
I think so, yeah. There's never any NWSL game where I'm like, oh yeah, we got this, or this game, they're going to crush it. Honestly, even seeing Kansas City crush some teams and win, or they had their first game at the stadium was 9 goals or something, which is what is happening?
And that game, it's so crazy because like you were saying, we don't give up goals in this league, and to have 9 goals scored between 2 teams of really good defense and really good offense, it's like, what is happening? But Kansas City, I feel like they're starting to show their cards a little with injuries and everything, where it's that they're not as good on defense. They'll outscore a team 100%, but they don't necessarily have the back line to stop the goals being scored on them too.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting thing, because their goal differential is really close. Whereas Orlando now, never mind. And they just picked up, who did they pick up? Another Zambian player, I think. It's people are calling it Brazilambia because it's just Marta and the Brazilian women. And now you've got half the Zambian team. And I'm like, good. Orlando deserves so much good. They've been through it.
They've had some really poor teams. So it's also wild to you bring in a couple great pieces, and all of a sudden Marta's 12 years younger. You know what I mean? Her knees don't hurt anymore.
She's aches and pains. What are those? I don't know them.
I'm 25. What are you talking about? Okay.
And I'm sitting here like, Marta, we're 2 weeks apart. Our birthdays are in a week apart. I'm like, girl, I know how I feel. At least you've had the backing of professional leagues, your federation, all of that. I'm just a homegrown broken athlete at this point. But no, it's just so cool. We're so lucky to see them play. And I'm looking forward to the Olympics always, but then the World Cup in Brazil with her as the ambassador for soccer and women's soccer there. It's going to be Oh, that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see you there. That would be cool.
I've never been to a World Cup,
just
and that's one of the few things where I'm like, I cover them and I do all this work around it, but I've just never actually been to a game at a World Cup. So I'm excited for 2026 because I can do that. But it'd be dope to head over to. I've been to Brazil before, but it'd be dope to go for a World Cup.
For the men is out, right?
So I have no excuse.
Yeah. So when you're here, hit us up because I live very close within walking distance of SoFi.
Oh, cool.
So there will be stuff there.
We'll chill.
If you need a home cooked meal, my mom and I will bring out peak Mexican food for you. Like we got,
no, that's great. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. We're just so grateful that you found the time and just wanted to hang out and talk soccer with us.
Oh, good. Yeah. Thank you so much for the invite. Happy to do it again in the future if you ever need. Sorry I was late, but
you two both have crazy packed schedules right now. Do you guys have anything cool coming up that you want to promote?
Nothing we can particularly mention right now, but right now it's just I'm playing in TST. So whenever this comes out, I will already be in North Carolina playing in TST. So you can watch.
This will come out on the 5th. So right before games start.
My first game is on the 5th and 6th. My team is called Summer of Soccer. If you want to see my soccer, is it a professional debut? There's money on the line. So
at least semi-pro. At least.
And if you want to see my debut, you want to see a stand-up comedian playing in a very serious tournament where $1 million is on the line. That is where you can tune in on. I think the website is thetournament.com, and you just look up TS. On the games all the games are broadcast on the website and some on ESPN. I don't think I'm going to be on ESPN, but you never know. Who knows if we can get out of our group. I'm just training for that. And I'm super excited for it.
That's awesome. We will make sure to promote it all over our socials too and all that. We'll send you guys graphics to post about this if you want. Thank you so much. But that's it. Thanks for hanging out.
No doubt.
You are more than welcome to come by whenever you feel like it.
I do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. We will hopefully see you soon.
Sure.
Awesome.
All right. Special thank you to Christian for just giving us his time. He is, once again, he's going to be playing in the TST tournament that he will be playing when this episode comes out on Wednesday. So if you're able to watch it, stream it,
tune
whatever,
in if you can.
The website was called thetournament.com. And go check it out. He's going to be playing. Let's hope our boy gets some minutes. He's been training for this.
Instagram, the mascot is coming for his spot. So we got to hype our guy up.
Christian, best of luck. We will be watching. We will be rooting for you. And if you win that $1 million, I know it's going to be split between your team, but
we knew you win.
Yeah. All right. And so, reminder of where to watch and listen. Next match is going to be Saturday, June 8th, Gotham versus Angel City FC at Red Bull Arena in New Jersey. The game time is going to be at 9:30 a.m. So remember, this is brunch match time. This is going to be morning for us. The game will be broadcast on CBS and on Paramount Plus. And if you're not going to be around to be able to watch it, because 9:30 a.m. is swim class time, so I won't be able to watch it. iHeartRadio with Isaac and Tracy, the homies. We love listening to them, and I will definitely be listening to them. There will be a watch party. The watch party starts at 9 a.m. Kickoff is at 9:30, and it's going to be at High Tops and Los Files. So go hang out. And then we're also going to repost any of the other watch parties as we always do. I try to do like a watch party recap by Friday before the weekend of whatever matches or whatever we've been seen or tagged in. So check out our Instagram and we'll be reposting all the stuff we find. And if you've been listening to us and you're at this point already, you're either one, a fan of the Cooligans, and welcome. You can subscribe to us. Or if you haven't hit the subscribe button, why not? Just do it. It takes you a second and it helps us out. If you need a pod link for wherever you want to listen to this, check out casualfc.com. All the links will be there. Best way to support the pod is the best way for everyone to do it. and you can do it multiple times. You can do one for every single episode. You can share, comment on one of our posts on social media, or you can go ahead and leave us a review on Apple, or leave a comment on Spotify or on YouTube. All the algorithms need stuff. So just put stuff there and we'll respond, and we'll make the algorithm pay attention to us. It's engagement, people.
Eat the
If you also want to
dragon.
help, yes. If you also want to help us out by buying some merch at shop.casualfc.com, we've got tons of silly ideas. We're waiting for that Thompson Time t-shirt to come to fruition, and they will
And pop
powers
off.
by their powers combined. I know that's Captain Planet still. We
May
are
the power protect them and keep them healthy. And it's morphin time.
yeah. And then lastly, if you feel so inclined and you want to help support the pod, you can support us by buying us a coffee. You can check out the link on our socials or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. Throw us a buck, throw us a few bucks. Anything helps. It just helps us keep the lights on, as they say. And yeah, follow us on our socials, on all of them, on everywhere we've been able to sign up. Casual FC Pod. Instagram's going to be the most active, but we're everywhere. There you go. And please tell a friend about the pod. Send them a link. It brings us good luck. It brings the team good luck. We bank all that luck and we send it to them. We're going to send it along with them in some special Casual FC luggage to New Jersey, and we're going to keep it with the team and make sure they get all the love and support that every one of us brings to them. So, with that, this has been an amazing episode.
Happy
Again,
birthday.
thank you, Christian. Happy birthday. It's our 1-year birthday.
Hell of a
Thank
year,
you.
guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. I'm going to keep saying the same things over and over. So thank you and bye.
Bye, guys.